I look like Einstein. That's cool. Why not? So, yes, today we're going to be covering Mars in the 12th house. In the sign of Cancer for Leo ascendant people, the Leo Lagna. As in what happens when Mars is in the 4th house in Cancer for Leo. While Mars rules the 4th house with Scorpio and 9th house with Aries. And as always, if you have this particular position, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, along with all your astrological details, for that, check out the link here, KRSastrology.com, where you'll find all my books, reports, consultations, and link to my academy, Vedic Astrology Academy, where you'll find all my books, reports, consultations, okay? So, and then also, we are going to start on D3 chart. I am still kind of just thinking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You know, how do I do this? Because it becomes a little complicated with D3. You got to know the degrees of the Namamsha. You also got to then know which Rishi the planet is in D3 and what the other 5 Devtas are based on the Namamsha. So we'll see. So anyway, when Mars is in the 12th, the first thing you will see is that father will deal with expenses and losses on behalf of property, land, real estate. It also shows, depending upon which country you were born in. Because you got to understand, if, you know, like for example, you take any hardened criminal, they might be going through a Raj Yoga period. But if they're on a lifelong sentence, they have 2 consecutive lifetimes to finish their punishment, and the Raj Yoga comes in, does that mean that they suddenly get released? No, that simply means that they may get a better meal during that time. They may get more outdoor time in prison. But when, for example, we're talking about Mars in the 12th house here, if your grandmother, let's say, was in a conservative society, born in a conservative society, it'll be a different scenario versus somebody who grew up in a very free, exploring, adventurous society, like, for example, 1940s or 50s of US, that it can show that a grandmother could have eloped with someone, might have eloped with someone, would have had somebody in their life that they wanted to be with but couldn't be with them. And of course, this also shows a very strong placement for a person to go to a foreign place, gain land, real estate property. But one thing that happens is, if a person goes on a temporary basis while Mars is in the 12th house, okay, then they will find hard during that time to attain their visa, retain themselves in that foreign country, and may have to come back. And if Mars is retrograde, definitely with this. But Mars here, okay, is in the 12th house in Cancer. Such people will emotionally get connected with Tai Chi, yoga, some form of foreign exercise, foreign physical regime. For example, people in US have great interest in things like, let's say, Krav Maga. I believe it's a Russian martial arts. I don't know, I could be wrong. Or Austrian, but it's a foreign way of dealing with combat. But of course, you have to have other planetary alignment, especially Mercury. Mercury have to be connected with this Mars. Also, this Mars creates disputes with younger siblings, disputes with the spouse. And the younger siblings, spouse, you'll have conflicts related to property and mother, over mother and property. Okay. And then Mars, these are the greatest time of my life. Seeing my kids running and just laughing, and it dropped it back down. So, yeah. Now, so, and then Mars being in Cancer doesn't necessarily mean one has a bad relationship with the father. What this can actually show is that father himself could have dealt with abandonment issues with her own mother. And here, father can actually become extra caring. But to really know, how the relationship is with the father, you have to look at sun, you have to look at sun's nakshatra, and you have to look at the distance between moon nakshatra and sun nakshatra to really know that. But here, father also will somehow gain through business and workings related to land, property, hotel, resorts. Okay, and then because Mars is the ninth lord of Bhagya and luck, your luck rises in foreign lands when you attain a property, when you deal with property. It has nothing to do with debilitation, exaltation. That thing, let's just be honest, we don't even know, because I've seen so many people who are just multimillionaires with debilitated Mars, okay? And people doing well in business of property, wealth, real estate. Because you got to change the dynamics now. Mars can only be weak and debilitated if it's in a certain distance from moon, because it's in the sign of moon. Only then it'll become not debilitated, but more so weakened or not giving the favorable results in this position. All right. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Mars in the 12th house for Leo ascendant people. And within a couple of days, we'll do the D3 chart. All right. Till then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.